Hello. Um, there's nothing to do today, and I want to talk to myself, so I'm priming. Um, I guess I'll just upload videos of me doing my makeup and talking nonsense, and then maybe, I don't know, being educational. So, oh no. So I first am going to be priming. I'm using the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. In Rich. This stuff is so thick, but it is so fragrance, like a bit unnecessarily love. Yeah. If you're sensitive to fragrance, I would advise you to steer away from that because it smells like flowers. Um, which is nice, but not all of us want that. And then I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Luminous Matte Primer. This is nice. It smells like sunscreen. I don't think it contains any SPF though, so that's great for me. But I'm not going outside because there was a hurricane this morning. What would I do next? If I were me, what would I do? I would do this. I would do Pro Conceal from LA Girl in Peach. I hate this applicator. I could absolutely hate it. I need a mirror. I need like a good mirror. That mirror is filthy. And then my second step in color correcting is to just place a little bit of the Fenty concealer in 130. This is like my normal like thick concealer. But because I'm really gray up here, I try to brighten it up a bit more. And then I will take a stipple brush and just stipple in my color corrector. Notice how it like kind of makes my dark circles go away, but then it also kind of doesn't. Yeah. A myth I've bought into. But we make do. Next, the Glossier concealer. I would just like to say to my friend Vinia, who put me onto Glossier base, you were right, and we should all listen to you more. I use, oh god, I use the shade G10. This concealer is SAR dewy. I mean, most concealers won't look like that underneath the eye. They're just not. And I like to apply with my ring finger. I like to hit the forehead. I like to hit all the places where I need coverage. But I try to focus the concealer to the center of my face. As you can see, I'm a pink lady. I'm very pink. So, but it's not like a pink undertone. It's like I have redness. So that's where it gets kind of confusing. Then I use the Glossier Skin Tint. This is essentially dirty water. Do I pay upwards of $18 for a bottle of dirty water? Yes. But it's good. It's so good. You can apply this with your hands. I just think it's messy. So I like to apply it directly to the brush, but I usually apply a bit more just because the brush will eat it up. And I just sort of stipple. And I blend it into the concealer just so I have like a very blended, gorgeous base. I blend in my under eye too. This is a great way for you to like, I don't know, not work on your student loan debt, but you can at least be pretty. I use a shade up or down, I don't know the term. I use G9 in the skin tint just because, I like to look a bit more tan, but I also don't want to look orange, so there is a fine art within complexion. Notice how I look soaking wet? That's the goal. And then I will take a bit of the Fenty concealer, again, just like a dot under the eyes, and then like right up here. And I blend that in. All that good stuff. So, what do I do next? I do powder. No, I do not do powder. I lied. I do cream blush. This little pot, this is a dupe pot from Laritzi Cosmetics. I got this in the Ipsy bag. I will take this like fat angled Real Techniques brush and I'll just like, and then, no! I'm trying like to be present on camera. I will just sort of blend it up. I try to actually blend it like right here into my under eye and like on the side of my head. If you have a rounder face, it's actually like really nice to do this because like, okay, I have cheekbones. They're just like underneath a lot of mental unwellness. So if you hit it back here, like your blush highlight, because this is a shimmery cream blush, you will, how should I put it? You bring out the structure of your face. And I like to hit it at the side of my eye just because like this side of my face is rather flat. So any like dewiness that I can place here, I'm going to. Dab 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 dab. Now how easy was that? Okay, so next, powder. I think powder is, it's a double-edged sword. It's a catch-22. You need it in some cases, but in other cases you don't. And I feel like I need it for my under eyes or else they just look horrible. So I will take this mini Dermablend powder and then my Maybelline Fit Me loose powder in 10, and I just sort of mix a bit of both. I would say the Fit Me is very fatty in terms of texture. Like it has like a density, it's like flour. But the Dermablend powder is a bit more finely milled. Like confectioner sugar. And I literally just, this is all the powder that I will use. Simply because if I use too much powder, all of this, one, will be for nothing. But two, if I use too much powder, it ends up just like getting gross throughout the day. So I will like set here. I'll set by the side of my mouth just to like avoid the separation of product. Next, I do bronzer. I take this really gross Pacifica bronzer that I've had for like over a year, and then I take this Pat McGrath highlighting palette, and I take this shade. And why, you may ask? Because I like to look moist. Because you're applying this to wet product. If you're not setting this area, it's gonna look a bit more pigmented. It doesn't right now because I'm so washed out and the lighting's horrible right now. When you're applying any powder product to essentially your wet skin, you are going to have a darker payoff. So just beware, love. Just beware. What do I do next? Blush. If you've ever seen me in person, you probably know I wear an excessive amount of blush. An excessive amount. So I like to go a bit crazy. I'm gonna be taking these two blushes. There we go. I use this Ipsy collection by Gigi. It's like Ipsy Gigi Gorgeous. I don't know things. What do I look like? An encyclopedia? And I just sort of blush that back. Again, you're putting this essentially on your wet skin, so it's going to look darker. So just beware. And then what I will do after I've laid the Gigi Gorgeous blush, which is like a nudie peachy blush, I will take this like electric coral blush, and I will just like pop it right here because I don't need it to be everywhere. And it's pretty intense, love. It's pretty intense. And it does kind of make me look sunburnt, but like that's what I'm going for. I was out in the sun, except I did not leave my house. See, I'm like back here. See, it works like that. What else do I do to my face? Not entirely sure, love. Highlighter. Okay, highlighter. This is a process, love, because I don't know when to stop. So we're gonna try to limit how much I put on. Will I be successful? Probably not. So, what I will do is I'll take these Pat McGrath highlighters. This one is a pinky shade, and this one is a gold shade. There we go. I like to take more of the gold than the pink, just because the pink isn't as reflective as I ever want it to be, but it's always so flattering. And then I just sort of hit the high points, and yeah, you see what it does. What I will then do is I will take a fan brush, and I'll go into Flexitarian by ColourPop. This is like a peachy silver. That's like the only way I know how to describe it, is a peachy silver. And then I will just sort of hit right here. So when you're hitting like almost like under your eye instead of like all the way back here, and then you like carry it over, it just adds to that like glass skin wet look, if that makes sense. And after I've done the Flexitarian, I will take the Diamond Bomb by Fenty and How Many Carats, and I will just like, this is like straight up glitter essentially, but I don't care, and I sort of hit right there, and right there, and right there, right there, and right there, and right there. As you can see, I look like a glazed donut. And that's the point. You want to look slightly repulsive. So then I just like, what I will then do is I will take my domed powder brush and I will take this e.l.f. mattifying blotting powder. There we go. Can't read it because it's in millennial pink. I believe it only comes in the shade Caucasian. And like not like summertime Caucasian, like from like the Caucasus Mountains Caucasian, like in the winter. I think it's supposed to be like Invisimatte from Fenty, but like not invisible. And I just sort of hit right here and right here, just the places where it's like I know oil will come through, and I'm not trying to take away too much of the shine, but I'm also trying to not have my face melt off. And then what I will then do is I'll do Setting Spray Love. And I do too because I'm wet. Obsessed with buying things. So I'll take the NYX Dewy Finishing Mist. Then I'll take again the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer Mist. And you see how I'm like actually like very wet. It's because I sprayed my face. Sorry, I think I'm just gonna do my base for this one because this was already a pretty long video. Sorry. Yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. I don't really have an outro, but if you want to see more videos, let me know. What should I film, love? I have all this makeup and all this time and not a whole lot of ideas because my brain has turned to mush. But anyway, leave a comment. Is that what you're supposed to do? Yeah. I'll probably film another video within the next week, of me doing more nonsensical stuff, and yeah. Enjoy!